Welcome into the 49ers Report by Chat Sports. Chase Senior here with you. Hope all of you out there are having a great week. We have a great show on tap for you today because with the season almost here, we're going to do our final 49ers 2022 record prediction, go game for game on the schedule. But with that, if you're excited for the regular season to start, I cannot wait. We'll be doing a watch party for it on Sunday. I want you to hit that thumbs up icon and like the video. With that, do want to take a look at the 49ers schedule this upcoming season. And as we've talked about, they ease in to the 2022 season. Middle portion of the schedule gets a little bit tough. Then the back end eases up a little bit. So week 1 Sunday against the Chicago Bears. Week 2 at home for the home opener against the Seattle Seahawks. Week 3 on the road against the nemesis in Russell Wilson, against the Denver Broncos Sunday Night Football. It's one of multiple primetime games for a 49ers team that had some of the most watched sporting events all of 2022. Yes, 2022, not even going back to 2021 as well. Week 4 at home against the Los Angeles Rams. 2 games then on the road against the Carolina Panthers and the Atlanta Falcons. Week 7, Patrick Mahomes comes to Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Super Bowl rematch from the 2019 season in Week 7. Week 8 against the defending Super Bowl champions. The second game against the Los Angeles Rams. Week 9 is their bye week. I really like that. Fits right in the middle of this season. That's a good spot for a break. Week 10 against the Chargers on Sunday Night Football. Week 11 on the road, Mexico City against the Cardinals on Monday Night Football. It's going to be a sea of the right red. Niner red, not that fraudulent Cardinals red in Mexico City. Basically a home game for the Niners because they do have a large Spanish fan base. Week 12 against the Saints, and then this is where things also continue to get interesting. Week 13 against the Dolphins, Week 14 against the Buccaneers. That Chargers and Chiefs game that we just discussed is kind of in this portion of the schedule, but then as I said, eases up a little bit. Week 15 on the road against the Seahawks on Thursday Night Football. Week 16 against the Commanders. Week 17 on the road against the Raiders, and what used to be a rivalry game, faithful to the Bay. The Raiders are not, the Niners are, and then the Niners round out the regular season Week 18 at home against the Arizona Cardinals. So kind of an advantage for the Niners against the Cardinals this year because they basically have 2 home games against Arizona. Before we get to my record prediction, I want to hear from you in the comment section. What is your 49ers record prediction for 2022? And keep in mind, do the simple math, 17 games on the slate during this 18-week regular season schedule. A reminder, too, after our watch party, we'll be doing a post-game show live on call-in, taking your calls. If you haven't tuned into one of our call-in shows, please do so. Download the app and subscribe to the 49ers Report. You can call into the show. We can react to the game live. It's like Twitter Spaces, but even better. Chatsports.com/49ers call-in. Download it. I'll put those download links for your iPhone and your Android device in the comment section right now. Without further ado, record prediction. On Sunday, I think the Niners get off to a good start against Chicago, and they come back to Santa Clara Week 2 with a 1-0 record. I just think that the Niners defensive line and this team is ready to win right now. I think the Bears could be one of the worst teams in the NFL this upcoming season. Their offensive line last year was one of the worst in the NFL. I expect that to also be the case this year, and that caters to the strengths of San Francisco. They're just too well-rounded and too well-coached of a team to go down against Chicago. Week 2 against the Seattle Seahawks. I think the Seahawks also going to be one of the worst teams in the NFL. Frankly, they could be the worst. At this point, probably still going to be Geno Smith. Even if it's Drew Lock, it will not matter. That recent history of Seattle dominating San Francisco, you can flush that down the drain. Week 3 on the road against the Denver Broncos. In my initial season prediction, I had the Niners losing this game. But I actually think San Francisco is the better team as compared to Denver, and I think it's going to take them a little while with the new quarterback, new coaching staff to find a rhythm, and I think this is a game that the Niners should and will win, and their physicality defensively and offensively does match up well against Denver. Week 4, this will be the first Niners loss of the season, and I understand that outside of the NFC Championship game last year, Kyle Shanahan has been Sean McVay's daddy. I think the Rams are a really good team, though. They made some really good free agent acquisitions, and this time San Francisco loses at home against the Rams. So after 4 games here, it is a 3-1 record for the Niners. We pivot now to week 5 against the Carolina Panthers on the road. I don't care that Baker Mayfield is better than Sam Darnold. The Panthers aren't a better team than the Niners. San Francisco gets the dub here. And then they go on the road once again. I imagine they stay east here with back-to-back games against the NFC South to take on the Falcons. The Falcons, Seahawks, and a couple of other teams in that mix. They could be some of the worst teams in the NFL. Maybe throw the Chicago Bears, as I talked a little bit about earlier. Marcus Mariota, he doesn't threaten me at all, especially against this Niners defense that I expect to be star-studded. Niners get the dub here to go on a nice little stretch. This is where things start to get a little bit hairy, though, after the Niners got off to a nice little start to start the season. Week 7 on the road against the Chiefs. I still expect the Chiefs to play high-caliber football and be a Super Bowl contender, and that passing attack, the first really difficult test for the Niners this season. That's why they go down with that L. Week 8 at Levi's Stadium South, SoFi Stadium. We know that the Niners really love playing at SoFi, and we know it's going to be a sea of red there, and the Niners win this game against the defending Super Bowl champion. So after 8 games here, San Francisco still sitting pretty with a 6-2 record. And basically what this is, the complete opposite of last year when they started 3-5 and had to play catch-up. By starting 6-2, they get some wiggle room here. The bye week falls on week 9. I really like that middle portion of the year to really rest up here. Week 10, primetime game against the Chargers. Justin Herbert is going to be an MVP candidate this year, and the Chargers are a very good team on both sides of the ball. I think this game is close, but the Chargers win in the waning moments. Week 11 on the road, Mexico City against the Cardinals. The 49ers are not going to disappoint their fan base in Mexico. And the Spanish 49ers clubs are going to be rallying around this football team, and the Niners are going to give them something to cheer about with the dub against Kyler Murray, and we know this is when Arizona starts to go in a downward trajectory because this is when the season matters the most, and that's when they play their worst. Week 12, New Orleans Saints are going to be a sneaky, difficult team to match up against. They traded away C.J. Gardner-Johnson to the Eagles. It's not a deal that made a lot of sense to me. I understand they have Jameis Winston as their starting quarterback, but the Saints outside of QB are really stacked across the board, and I think this is one of those games where the Niners, physical team against physical team, it's low scoring, but the Saints win in that fourth quarter. Among all of these games that we're talking about here on the schedule, which one are you looking forward to the most out of all of these matchups? Let me know right now, and if you're going to a game, let me know. I'm interested to see how many people are going to a game. Okay, now we enter the stretch run. And last year during this stretch run, we saw San Francisco play its best football. Now, this is a difficult portion of the schedule, no question. And some people are down on the Miami Dolphins with Mike McDaniel. I'm actually pretty high on them. I think they could be one of the more impressive offenses this year. And I think Mike McDaniel, the Dolphins hit a home run with that hire. So the Niners go down as Mike McDaniel returns to play against his former boss in Kyle Shanahan. Week 14, Buccaneers are also going to be a dangerous team. And Tom Brady is going to come back to the Bay Area where he grew up, to the team that he wanted to go to a couple of years ago when he left the New England Patriots. He exacts his revenge against the Niners with them passing on him, and he takes down his childhood team and the team he grew up idolizing with Joe Montana as the quarterback. The good news for the Niners is, though, schedule eases up a little bit here. Week 15, against the Seahawks on the road, this is going to be a dub for the Niners. And after 14 games, they're still sitting in a pretty good spot, and they're controlling their own destiny. Yes, they started the year 6-2. Here, they're still 8-6. But good news is coming up. Week 16 against the Washington Commanders. Carson Wentz was an MVP candidate in 2017. He busted up his knee, hasn't been the same player since. I don't think the Commanders are going to be dangerous for the Niners. Give me a dub for San Francisco here. Week 17, massive game on the road in Las Vegas. It is going to be a scene in the Sin City with Niners fans, Raiders fans. We're probably going to see some fights popping up on social media, no question. The fight that matters, though, at Allegiant Stadium, the lavish home of the Raiders, and there the Niners win in a game that's going to go a long way in determining their playoff chances. And then the Niners round out the regular season, Week 18 against the Arizona Cardinals. Niners are going to be battling for playoff positioning, so too are the Arizona Cardinals. And the Niners here, in these final 3 weeks, they go win, win, win to finish the season with an 11-6 record. Now, my first record prediction, I had them at 10-7. Same record as last year. So this is a one-game improvement from 2021. I think San Francisco is better at the quarterback position. They're a little bit more dangerous and explosive there. They might not be as consistent, but the other stuff makes up for it. Defensively, they're as good, if not better, going into year 2 for DeMeco Ryans, and I don't expect them to get off to that slow start. Grade my record prediction right now in the comments section. A, B, C, D, or F. 11 wins for the Niners. I think that's fair. You let me know in the comments section. If you want to rip me, you can. A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know, though. And don't forget to get those records in.